Hello everybody, welcome to Tarot Without Suckers. I'm Holy Mountaineering, aka Afraid or Not, and we're back today with video / lesson / chapter 0.2, where to begin. 0. So, if you haven't seen the introduction video and you haven't seen chapter 0.0 or chapter 0.1, please go back and watch those now. This video will make a lot more sense if you do. So, we are still going over the very bedrock sort of stuff of a good, healthy tarot practice. Since you've seen the first few videos, you know what we're talking about. So, we are here with symbolism, how to remember those symbols today. In the last video, we talked about flashcards and about keeping notes, and briefly went into a little bit of what you might want to do with that. And today, I just wanted to go into more detail about what you can do to better read tarot cards, because that's what you're here for, right? To better read tarot cards, or to read them at all. You're here. So let's talk about it. Some things that you are going to want to make flashcards for, some things that you are going to want to get to know. Since this is a class that I'm teaching in order to sort of curb overabundance of random information, we are going to keep our sources for this small and limited to what I talk about today. That's not so I can control your minds, that's more so I can filter out a lot of what either I consider misinformation or stuff that conflicts, because different people have different ideas of how things are done, but we're talking about my ideas of how things are done. So these are my ideas for how things are done. So we are going to want 22 Hebrew letters. Those are going to be important. This is a good time to stop and say that if Hebrew makes you uncomfortable because you are an anti-Semite, this would be a good time to stop whatever you're doing and go walk in front of a fucking bus. Or jump off a bridge, or stop being a racist piece of shit. If you have a problem with people practicing Judaism, you're fucked. Shut up. Since all the anti-Semites have left the room, we'll get back to not being pieces of shit. So, we are going to want to become familiar with the 22 Hebrew letters of the alphabet, because they are important to the 22 Trump tarot cards. And they're also important to the Kabbalah, which is something so important. It's on our list. Being familiar with Hebrew is going to be very important to understanding Kabbalah. They're really, really related. So let's make 22 flashcards. Put everything we know about each Hebrew letter. The next thing we're going to want to study and make flashcards for are the 4 elements, the 4 classical elements of the Hermetists, or whatever. We got fire, we got water, we got air, we got earth. If you're confused or would like to know why we're using only those 4 and not like ether and not like wood or anything, you can go ahead and ask me. I'd be glad to answer those questions with probably resounding silence and just that's how we're gonna do it, because that's how I'm doing it. But I mean, maybe I'll answer. I don't know. I'm fucking stoned right now. So the next thing that we are going to, have I been holding this backwards like the whole time because I've been looking at it in the monitor? It's wild, just absolutely wild. Jesus fucking Christ, guys. So, hey, your dyslexia is not in full effect. I am, in fact, stoned, like I just mentioned. So, the 22 Hebrew letters, 4 elements, the 7 planets. These are the 7 classical planets again. And it's this is just the way that we're doing it. And if anybody has any questions, I'd love to answer them when I'm not doing my 35th take of this at 6 in the morning. So the 7 classical planets are Sol, the Sun, Luna, the Moon. Then we got Mercury, and then Venus, and then Jupiter, and then Saturn and Mars. So there's no Earth even in there. Again, a lot of this stuff that I'm talking about, a really good place to start is going to be the first knowledge lecture of the Golden Dawn. I have a hard copy of the Israel Regardie book, which you can find PDFs of, and I will include the link. So a good place to get some basic, like, practical information for what we're going to use it for is the first knowledge lecture of the Golden Dawn. I have some workbook stuff for Patreon supporters, patrons, that is going to streamline a little bit of the knowledge lecture stuff. But just for folks trying to learn, the first knowledge lecture of the Golden Dawn is a great place to start for all of this information. So then there's the 12 Zodiac Signs, no wacky newfangled Zodiac shit, please. Then the 10 Sepheroth of the Tree of Life. And especially if you do not have a hard copy pack of tarot cards, 78 tarot cards. So each of these things are going to become obviously useful to you the more that you learn about them and the more that you learn about tarot. So these things you're going to want to throw onto flashcards. And through the knowledge lecture, Golden Dawn knowledge lectures, and through research by using some of the books and PDFs, whatever, that I'm going to link. They're still books, even if they're PDFs. Or PDFs of books, whatever. I need to go to sleep, guys. Folks, people. It's a mess right now. So yeah, make flashcards of these things, since I'm not holding the paper backwards anymore. I'm going to keep hitting the stand for this. So we're going to want to remember these things through familiarity, through becoming familiar with it, through saturation, through using them over and over again. When you start to see a tarot card as these different elements, then you're starting to get somewhere. And when you're so familiar with the different elements in the tarot cards that you begin to see it as just one thing again, then you've really gone somewhere. And when you don't even need to see your tarot cards and everything's crazy and you're everywhere, woo! Okay, yeah, like, I have no idea what I'm talking about. So back to like normal stuff. Yeah, we're going to want to keep these. We're going to want to get a copy of a Hermetic Quabala with a Q Tree of Life. Now, some of you might say, Holy Mountaineering, aka Afraid or Not, why is it Quabala with a Q instead of a K or a C and different L's and H's and stuff? And to that I would say, shut up! You're here on my YouTube channel asking me questions. No. I would say that usually the different spellings of Kabbalah denote the different strains, the different sort of, I can't think of the right word, different strains. We're going to stick with strains. The different strains of Kabbalah, because I got weed on the mind. Whatever. So, Kabbalah with a K would be the Jewish Hebrew traditional mystery. Then Kabbalah with a C is going to be more Christian Kabbalism. And then Kabbalah, with a Q, usually denotes that it is from the Hermetic tradition, or from the Western occult tradition, and not from a ethnic or religious place. Not to say that it's not 100% informed, again, by that ethnic religious stuff, which should not make you uncomfortable unless you're a fucking bigot. So, we are making flashcards. And then, so if you are a student of mine, the beginning of this class would have been a good time to bust out your little diary notebooky thing and to write down the date and the time and the Zodiac stuff. Would have been a good time like 11 minutes ago. But if you haven't done that yet, do it now. Write it down. So, I wanted to go over a couple of things really quick at the end of this video for folks who do not have tarot cards. If you don't have tarot cards yet, do not fret. I'm so sorry. I didn't even mean to do that. Yeah, if you do not have tarot cards yet and you want to pull a card for yourself, the best way that I can think to do it is get 78 small pieces of paper. You can either rip them up and make them random, or you can cut them out perfectly. Get 78 small pieces of paper and write 1 through 78 on them. Or you could write like all the names of the tarot cards on them, going through from the trumps all the way through the small cards. But a really easy way to do it is 1 through 78, and then put them in a hat or whatever, like a bag, and lottery style, pick one out every day. And then once you read the order, the order that the tarot cards are in, you can see that your number, say, was, you got 1. That would be actually 0, the Fool. Say, you got like whatever, 52, that would be whatever the 52nd card is, which I'm not gonna fuck with you kids. I cannot think of what the 52nd card in the tarot is, but if I would have spent as much time thinking about it as I've been talking about it, I probably would have wrote it. It doesn't matter. Anyway. So, yeah, that's a good way. Right, 1 through 78, 1 being the Fool, 78 being the 10 of discs would be the last card. Go ahead and just pick one out for yourself every day, and then write that information down. First, always write down the date, which I guess I took out with my fucking sweet jacket, 'cause my partner is the best. Write the date and the zodiac information. The sun today is in Aquarius and the moon is in Aries. So write that down, because you're going to want to, again, become familiar with all of this stuff. And the more that you use it, like every day, you're writing down what the zodiac stuff is. You're becoming familiar with the symbols. You're seeing it more. Like pulling a tarot card every day for yourself, you're going to become more familiar with this. If you use your flashcards that you made for these things, you're going to become familiar. You're going to become more familiar with what's in the tarot cards and how to see how they interact in the tarot cards. So, that is it for me. Sorry for the stony baloney rambling in some spots. But if you have any questions, comments, concerns, quabbalistic queries, or quandaries that you'd like to clear up, please comment Remember to like this video if you like it, and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for listening to me, and thanks for doing those things. You guys are the best. Look. Oh fuck, my cat was up there. Oh, sorry, anticlimactic. Oh shit, there she is. There's a cat. I don't know my room's a mess.